Hey guys, welcome to part one of our double bill of A Cup of Positivity. This week we're celebrating International Men's Day on Thursday the 19th of November, so I decided to do a special double episode this week, the first one of which is the awesome Mr Sunny Mahal. Sunny is a property developer, entrepreneur, public speaker, mindset and business coach, and one of the nicest and happiest people that I know. It's truly a pleasure for me to introduce you to him, and I hope you enjoy the episode. We discuss mindset, property investment, NLP, and business coaching. And as always, thanks for listening, and I really hope you enjoy it. So see you soon. Hey Sunny, welcome to A Cup of Positivity. How are you?
I'm very well, Martha. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
I'm super excited to have you. I'm just like, I can't contain it. I've been trying to book you in for weeks now. I know you're super busy, so thank you.
I know, sorry about that. We got there in the end. We decided we'll do the 6th at 6. That's it. It was too perfect.
Exactly. And I already said this to you off camera, but I just want to say thank you. You are my first guest to bring their own microphone. So
yeah,
super professional as always.
We try.
First things first, do you have your cup of tea?
Yes, they are. Ta-da!
And what does your mug say?
My mug says, less talk, more tequila. Yes.
It's funny because me and you have had a night out where there was a lot of tequila, so...
Yeah, actually, yeah, there you go. You know me too well then. Perfect.
Exactly.
I was like, Martha, have a tequila. And you're like, no, Sonny, I don't know what it does. And then you had it and you're like, this stuff's amazing. Oi.
Yeah, I remember it differently, but yeah. What tea do you have, actually? It's something super healthy.
Simple green tea.
Oh, but you're not simple.
Hey?
You're not simple.
I know, I just smashed a little Kinder Kids bar, though. So,
did you?
I do love a little chocolate now and then.
Awesome. Well, actually, I'm trying a new tea. I'm really excited about this because I'm lucky enough to be gifted some teas from this really cool brand called Twist Teas.
Okay.
And this one is mint chocolate chip.
Ooh,
which is like,
nice.
What the hell, the best flavor in the world. I've never had a mint chocolate chip tea before. So
how does it taste? Does it taste legit, yeah?
You know what? It's actually too hot right now, but it smells amazing.
Oh, wow.
So I'm excited to be sipping this while talking to you.
Fair play.
So
keep me posted on how it tastes.
I will keep you posted as I go. Okay, so please introduce yourself, Sunny. I know that a lot of my followers already follow you, but just in case there's some people who don't know you, introduce yourself.
Cool. Hello, everybody. I'm Sunny Mahal, aka Mr Sunshine. Never forget that. So who am I? I am a property developer. I am an entrepreneur with different businesses. I'm a public speaker. I'm a mindset and business coach. And I'm a happy-go-lucky kind of guy. That's me, pretty much. In a nutshell.
Wear many hats, actually.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Because I got to cover that bald patch, you see, so loads of hats.
Well, before I delve into like your journey and stuff, how has lockdown been for you? Because I keep hearing so many negative things about property during like COVID and the markets crashing and all these things. But what's it been for you?
For us, it's been kind of good though, to be fair. I'm not going to lie. It has been obviously difficult, just like everybody else has experienced. I'm not living on a different planet or anything. I'm living in the same way that everybody else is as well. But again, it's always about looking at the opportunity, right? There's always going to be some sort of negative, whether it's COVID, whether it's lockdown, whether it's not. Even outside of that, every single day we are faced with challenges. What do? We just find the solution to the problem and we get on with it, right? It's the same thing with this that we've done here. As you say, like on the property side of things, initially it did slow things down because obviously you couldn't get people out to work, you couldn't get your developments done, etc., like that. So we did get little bits and bobs done as we went, but overall the projects have been delayed, right? I'm not going to sit here and say, yep, everything's perfect. They have been delayed, but they're coming to an end, you know. So they didn't not get completed, they just got delayed. So we just tweaked, we pivoted, we thought, see what can we do differently. everybody that's involved, from investors to business partners, everybody was always kept on board saying, look, this is happening. Things are a little bit delayed, but the thing is, like, most people, if not most, all of them, everybody was just like, yeah, okay, cool, we get it. Like, everybody's in the same boat.
Yeah.
So again, it hasn't really affected negatively. You know me, I'm always looking at the bright side of life, and just like always opportunity, whether it's, again, I do like coaching and public speaking and stuff. So I couldn't get out to stages. So I got on this stage, the Zoom stage, jumped on here, pretty much on a lot of podcasts, a lot of Instagram feeds and all that kind of stuff. And then just took one portion of my coaching, well, pretty much all my portion of my coaching online, which still works a treat. And I've been on pretty much on social media, especially stories, every day, give or take a few days since lockdown, inspiring people, putting that energy out every morning. So it's actually been beneficial.
Yeah, I see your stories almost every day where it's just like super positivity. You're either singing or giving us some kind of tip for the day.
Pep talk.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. So tell us about like the beginning of your journey, because I know it took you some time to get to the man you are today. What made you decide to like get on this journey of becoming, firstly, a successful property investor?
Property. So again, it was like in 2007, we purchased our very first business. And from there, just like a few years into it, just started watching the whole typical thing of like watching Homes Under the Hammer.
Yeah.
And saying, hey, if they can do it, why the hell can't we do it, And for me, like my wife, she's always been saying, look, we need to invest in property. We need to do X, Y, and Z, because she's seen other people in her family succeed as well. So for me, it was like, nah, we don't need to. And she was like, yes, we do. And like I always say to people, women are always right. And we took our first steps into the first one, which was just a repossession purchase, which we purchased low, added value to it, rented it out. And that's how it pretty much got started, to be fair. Literally just watching a TV show, made loads of mistakes along the way. We still make a little mistake here or there because we're only human, right? But it's always about learning from those as well. And that's when it sort of started in the property side of things.
Yeah.
But for business, it started when I used to work at Heathrow Airport back in 2006. And then from there, it was just like my friends, pretty much, what do we do when we're youngsters? Yeah, forget about like being successful. Just get a job and get paid on Friday and blow it by Monday, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was a norm. And again, working there, it was fun, meeting different kind of people. But it wasn't going to like actually serve the bigger picture of what I actually wanted out of life. So again, it was just about seeing what other people were doing. My parents, I'm blessed that they were in business when I was growing up as well. So learning from them, and then just taking action on that, to be fair.
And what about like your mindset and like health and fitness journey? Because you've not always been how you are now, right?
Oh no, I used to be a very big chunky monkey. Oh mate. Yeah. So for me, it's like I've never always been this positive, jolly, happy person. For me, it was like, first it was like, okay, I'll work hard, because I always saw my parents work hard, friends and family and stuff, always working hard. So it's just typical, right? You see them do it, it just replicates down to you. But growing up, like running the businesses, getting into property, doing all that kind of stuff, it was all about the hard work, but it wasn't really about enjoying the fruits of your labor, you could call it. Like, again, like making money, but not enjoying it in any way, shape or form. It was just like the more hours you can do, the better you are.
Yeah.
And for me, it's like my mindset started to suffer from that as well. Just like confidence, confidence, anxiety, stress, and then also obesity as well. Because then I like started eating loads and stuff like that. And then from there, like everything else started to go downhill as well. Even relationships with myself, with other people, it all gets affected. And that's why I always say to people now as well, look, don't just focus on making money, focus on enjoying the damn journey. Because you get to making 100 grand, £1 million, whatever it is. If you've been miserable the whole way, you'll be even more miserable when you get there. I've been there, I've done that. So it's not worth it. So for me, it was like, okay, what do I need to change first? I used to like blame a lot of external factors. Oh, it's this person's fault. Oh, that happened to me because of this, that, the other. But it wasn't until I looked in the mirror and said, you know what, it's you. You need to start with yourself. Then I started working on my health and fitness and just changing from there. Then I started saying, okay, like look at all the greats in the world. What do they focus on first thing? Mindset. So I just started learning about that, YouTube, all that kind of stuff. And then people started seeing a shift in me.
Yeah.
Hey, you used to be this overweight, unhappy person. And now you're this happy, successful person. In their eyes, in my eyes, I'm never successful enough because I'm always seeking more, right? But I'm happy with where I am. And they said, like, help us. And I said, look, the human mind is such a fragile thing, but yet so powerful at the same time. And I'm not gonna show or like tell you guys what to do what I did, because it might work on me, but it might not work on you, might have the opposite effect.
Yeah.
So off the back of that, I started helping like just friends and family and stuff. But then for me, I wanted to say, okay, you know what, like, I want to help more people, but I need to learn about the mindset first and foremost. So that's when I invested in my education, learning NLP, getting qualified in that. For those who don't know, NLP is neuro-linguistics programming. It's about all the mindset and everything about what we do, why we do, and how we do it, and just how to become peak performers. So I learned about that, and then now I'm sort of like here, out there, trying to help as many people as I can. Just to live a happy life, you know.
And then you said that you started with like a baby buy-to-let, right, with your property stuff.
Yeah.
But where did you get the knowledge, and where did you learn about like what to do with your money, where to invest, what strategies, and like building that up to now that you're doing developments?
I didn't. So when we did the first one, I didn't have no experience. My wife had no experience. My parents had done it a little bit, but it was no experience. It was just a typical thing. You buy a property, you put money into it, it sat there. And it's the same thing. We saw something like, again, watching TV, and you're just like, yeah, okay, they're buying properties which need work doing. They're adding value to it, and then they're either selling it or they're renting it. So we just did the same thing, right? We found something that was run down. It was literally a couple of streets away from one of our businesses. So we knew the area well. We knew that the market, it was buoyant for people to be renting and stuff like that. Less people were buying. So even with that, it was on the market for, I think it was 90 or 92,000 pounds. And I thought, okay, cool. Went to view the property. It was an open house viewing. And I thought, yep, it's perfect. It needs a new kitchen, bathroom, decorating.
Yeah.
Not a great deal, probably like 8 to 10 grand's worth of work. And I thought, okay, cool, we can get that, and we can just stick it in there. And like when you work out like the yield on your money, your ROI on your money, and I was saying, right, it's going to be this much deposit, this much rent a month. Awesome. But then when I was speaking to my broker, I said to him, I said, right, it's on the market for 90 odd thousand. What shall I offer? The full ask, yeah? And he said, no, I'll offer below. And I was like, what do you mean below? Like, it's on for this much. I didn't know. I thought if it says the property's on for this much, you pay that much, right? And I said, what do I go in at? He goes, go in at 50K. And I was like, yeah, man, laugh, man. Like, nah, no way. And I said, okay. I said, what if they say no? And then he said, well, then you go back again. I was like, okay, cool. Negotiation. I said 50. They said no. The funny thing is that the lady had said, we've had full ask. So if you want to offer more. But when I said 50, she goes, I'll go back to him. And she didn't say no straight away. Then I went back to him and I said, right, shall I offer 70? Shall I offer 90? What shall I offer? He goes, no, 52. And then offered 52. I was like, what? 2 grand ain't going to make a difference. And then called him up, put the offer of 52. She called back the next day or the same day saying, yep, accepted. And I was like, wow, okay.
Wow.
So it was a repossession property. So the bank just needed that much to move on. Or something like that anyway, but I'm not going to complain. And then for that, it was just like my wife and I and family and that just dug in, started doing the work, painting, decorating, kitchen, bathroom, you name it, all that kind of stuff. And then we just put it straight on rent. We didn't know anything about buy, refurb, refinance. We didn't know anything about like recycling your money, being more savvy with your cash. Because our businesses were making money, we were just like, okay, rather than spending it, we'll just leave it in there. And then it was like over years of trial and error of watching other people do it. Internet, like Facebook groups and all that wasn't that big back then. And then obviously over time it started picking up. So I started learning from what other successful people were doing and then implementing it into ours. But yeah, to go back to your question, pretty much started with no experience, to be fair. That's why I say to people, you don't need experience. You don't need anything like that. You do need to know how, because you don't want to just jump into property without experience and then you're going to lose money. But that was a risky thing that we did. But because I think everything else was comfortable, business-wise, income-wise, we was like, okay, let's try it here, see how it works. And we always had it in our mind that it's going to be a long-term plan as well. You know, it's not going to be that you're going to do it in 6 months and try and make some profit. For us, it was all about that long-term gain.
So what would you say to someone who maybe has a little bit of money, but not much, is a good property strategy for them?
I will not advise anybody on that unless I know more detail. So for me, I would say like the internet's a big place, right? YouTube, massive. Google, massive. Facebook groups, massive, right? I'd say learn about the key strategies that are out there, like buy to let, buy, refurb, refinance, flips, auction, turning a house into flats, land development, HMO, service accommodation, whatever's out there. Learn about them, have an overview, and then whichever one appeals to you and the amount of money you've got. Like, are you looking for lumpy money or are you looking for cash flow? Right. And then just see, okay, with the amount of money I have, typically you're going to have to put that down for a deposit on some form of property. Now, if you can't afford it, if you live in London, if you've got 20 grand, good luck with that, right? It probably cost you 20 grand to get out of London rather than buy one. So if you can sort of find an area where you can invest that money or team up with somebody that you might trust and everything, and that you do it as a joint venture, but obviously that has to be all legally done as well. That just have a look at, with that money, which strategy will that fit with that money there? And also reach out to people that are already doing stuff that you're looking to do and just get their real advice. I wouldn't say just because you've got money, set yourself a target of, right, in the next 4 weeks, I need to buy a house. No, like get there. There's so much out there. It's about breaking it down and take your time with it. And don't, just because you've got money in the bank, I will always advise people, don't rush to spend it. It ain't going anywhere.
Yeah.
Wait until you're confident enough. Wait that you know everything. Okay, the minute I get the keys to the property to the minute the project's finished, I know everything involved in between. If you don't, then it's going to be kind of risky.
Okay. So from the property stuff, then why did you decide to go into mentoring, and what's like your big mission with this?
Okay. So for me, so when I started mentoring, it wasn't on property. It was just mindset.
Yeah.
Because I saw a lot of people, they start saying, okay, you know what? We're not confident. We have limiting beliefs. We want to do what you're doing, or we want to do what other people are doing, but we just keep holding ourselves back. And I always say to people, look, the only thing that's holding you back is nothing external. It's all internal. And the only reason I say that is because it was the same thing for me. So when I worked on myself, everything external started changing. So then for me, it's like, I want to help people there. And it wasn't, I didn't go out saying I want to be a mentor and a coach to people. People saw a shift in me and just said, hey, how are you doing this? Hey, can you help us here? And for me, I always want to give back to people where I can, because I know what it's like to be in that dark sort of struggle place.
Yeah.
That it's not fun to be on your own, right? And the fact that somebody reaches out, I personally think it's, as human beings, whether you're a coach or not, even just a friend, it's your obligation to actually step away and help that person to the extent that you can. So for me, and it was just, like I said, like doing it with friends and family. And then off the back of that, I enjoyed it so much by seeing the difference that was being made in people's lives. People turn around and say, this is life-changing. It's helped me achieve X, Y, and Z. And the funny thing is, most people will come to me saying, Sunny, I want you to help me to achieve this. And I say, okay, cool. Leave that park there. Let's work on you. And I guarantee you're either going to probably step away from that initial goal, and you're going to say, you know what, I actually want to do that instead, because they become more passionate about what they're doing. And then, yeah, it just snowballed from there, to be fair.
Yeah. And what is, like, I know a little bit about NLP coaching that you've been through, but what is it like in depth? Like, what do you learn? What is the course like?
Yeah. So I would highly recommend it to anyone who's looking to do on their own personal development first. Because I see a lot of people, they get into NLP just to use it for their business and sales and all that kind of stuff. And I would say, don't focus on that first. Focus on actually absorbing the knowledge on yourself, right? Now, neuro-linguistics programming stands for N, neuro, which is the mind of what we think, how we think, why we think. Linguistics is the language. So how we speak, what we say, how we say it, why we say it. And then programming is about putting it all together to be that elite peak performer. The mentorship that I did the practitioner course. That was a week long, 7 days straight, 8 in the morning till 8 in the evening.
Wow.
When I sat there, I was like, man, that's going to be a long day, you know, like 8 o'clock till 8 o'clock. But I kid you not, by 8 o'clock in the evening, you was like, I want more, I want more, I want more. It is so, so powerful. Because the thing is like this, right? Like, say, for example, we're sat here and we're both talking about property, and we've both learned it today. And we're just like, yeah, we know all the nuts and bolts about property, how to find a deal, how to negotiate, how to do a refurb, all that stuff. And then we've learned it in the classroom. Then we jump out into the big wide world and we start taking action and doing what we need to do. But with NLP, it's like, when you're learning it, what does it work on? It works on your brain. Whereas you've already got a mind, right? So it's not as if you have to go out looking for it. And as you're learning, you're just like ping, 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 like fireworks going off in your head. You're like, yo, that makes so much sense. And I personally believe like focusing on growing your mindset and investing in knowledge, right? Because that's all it is. It's just knowledge formed together about our brains and our mind. And for me personally, like I learned that game changer for me, game changer for the people around me. And you can implement it in so many different places, in business, in personal life, in entrepreneurship, in relationships, you name it, it works a treat.
Did you do that course by yourself?
No, I did that with my wife.
Oh, okay.
So we both did it.
Because
Funny thing was though, we did it, and I was telling the practitioner, I was like, right, I'm gonna be doing NLP on my wife, like even when she doesn't know and stuff like that. And he said, look, if you're like partners, very, very difficult for you to coach each other, because you're not coming from a coach and client relationship. You're coming from like a married life first, right? It's very difficult. You should see, we start laughing sometimes when like I'll be asking a question and she'll be asking me in a different way. And I'm like, hey, you're doing NLP on me, aren't you?
That's funny.
So, yeah.
It's like as if you're you're both therapists trying to therapize each other.
Oh no, yeah. Therapize. I like that word. Therapize.
No, that's a made up word. Don't use it.
Hashtag Martha's.
What is it like actually working? Because you work with your wife a lot, right?
Yes.
What's it like successfully working with your partner?
It's amazing. Honestly, I swear to God, it is one of the best things ever, but it takes hard work, right?
Yeah.
And the key thing there is like when couples work together, even for me, like I now coach and mentor people on their mindset and on their business and on their property business, whether they're individuals, whether they're husband and wife team, or whether they're a family unit as well, right? Because I've done all of those. I've done it on my own. I've done it with a family. I've done it with my wife. And it's like there's always a key nuance to making it work. And for us, it's like I said, we started back in 07, 08. And it's just like since then, it's been a learning curve. But the key thing is that when you're a couple and you're in business, it's not just to have it always about business. It's about to break it up as well.
Yeah.
You know, just not always, because we find it difficult. Sometimes we might be sat there in the evening eating and we'll be like, ding, entrepreneur, like a business idea, or like, what about this? Or what about that? And we have to say to each other, no, stop. That we can't talk about business. Unless you're in the office, you can't talk about it.
Yeah.
But the main thing also is that when you're in that relationship, to work to your strengths as well. Like me personally, I love being on screen. I love being out there on social media. I love helping people, coaching people, doing the do. But my wife, she's better in like the background and sort of like cracking the whip behind me, you know, like make sure we do this, make sure we get that done. And I'm terrible at paperwork. Always have been, always will be. It's not something I want to get good at. And we just make a great team, just like helping and growing for the bigger picture.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, it's like when you're working together, you have to have your individual lives as well. You can't just be working together, then outside of work, you're always doing like things together as well. Do that obviously, but then always have that time to push each other to grow individually as well. And it all comes down to respect and support as well. You know, it's just like, just as that support you get, you need to give that back for that person to grow individually as well, for them to have their own network, their own hobbies, their own holidays, you know, their own downtime, all of that kind of stuff. So they're the tips I would say. I don't even know how many I said there, but yeah, alongside there.
And what do you do in your downtime then?
Good question, Martha. What does Sunny do in his downtime? Well, for me, like, you know, like in the mornings, I love to go gym. That's my thing. For me, my downtime is that. And then pretty much just chill, really. Like chill as in just like watching Netflix now and then, not getting too hooked. Because then once you get into an episode, you're just like, bing, you're gone.
Yeah.
So yeah, gym, very, very big thing for me. Because like I said, I used to be overweight. I used to be a 42-inch waist, 18 and a half stone, unhappy, all that stuff. And I'll never go back there because I know how it makes you feel, not only physically, but mentally as well. So for me, it's all, and then also I look to inspire people to a better place. And if I'm not getting my ass up in the morning or going in the evening to the gym, then I can't expect other people to do that as well, you know? So I try and lead by example as well. So that's my downtime really. And then just, chilling out, spending time with the family, doing bits and bobs here or there. I'm not really into shopping or buying materialistic stuff.
Yeah.
Never have been. More so enjoying the time.
That's cool. I like that though. But what happened? You had a clothing brand, right? Sunshine State of Mind. And what's happening with that? Because I'm still waiting for my invitation to be featured as a model. So I'm not sure what happened there.
Sorry. Love it. So with that, so again, it's just like any business, right? There's always ups and downs. With that one, we were looking to launch the spring edition this year. because I think we launched it last year. Just again, I always say, like, any business you do, the first year is going to be learning, teething, and all that kind of stuff. And that's what it was, right? First, when we started, we had like loads of different products, and it's like, it's not really about having loads, it's about having a few core ones. Going after that, in that year, we figured out what people liked, what people didn't like. We tried to better our manufacturing process, so getting better suppliers for better quality of finish as well. And then when it came to spring, to launching the spring edition, what happened? COVID, lockdown, right? So manufacturers shut down, prices went up. It wasn't just wasn't going to work. So for us, it was like, okay, rather than, you don't look at it and saying, okay, I failed. You look at it saying, okay, it's just a hurdle. It's just a roadblock. We park that to the side for now. What else can we do? You know, if you can't push that, because for that, people want to be spending money. You want to be getting out, getting those photo shoots done and all that kind of stuff. And you need to spend on marketing. And if it's people are in a sort of like a mindset of like, do I really need new clothing and all that kind of stuff, where people are like, man, I don't even know if I got my job right. I don't know if I'm getting paid. It's not really something you want to push there. So for that, that's just parked up, but it's definitely coming back. Well, not coming back. It's still out there anyway, but it's definitely going to be growing as we get out of this situation a bit more. But for us, it was more so to control everything that we were doing on the property side of things. That was priority. And then continue with my coaching and mentoring and stuff like that, because people always need help on the mindset side of things. You even look at like the statistics now, somewhere I read, they said more people have suffered and passed away from mental health issues rather than actual bloody COVID-19 throughout this whole process. Yeah, they don't put that out in the media, do they? So for me, I want to be that positive voice, that person that people can speak to and just get that support to say, you know what, it's going to be all right. It always will be all right.
Yeah. So how does your mentorship program work?
It works by me talking and then helping people.
So let's say like I contacted you and was like, hey, Sunny, I need help. I want some mentorship. Like, what would happen?
So for me, I would say, firstly, what is it that you're looking for? Because for me, I do mindset, I do business, and I do property. So some people might say, you know what, I just need help on my property, or one or the other, or all three. So it's about finding out from what you require. Then off the back of that, we'll have a conversation. And if I think that, you know what, you might be a right fit for my one-to-one, you might be a right fit for, if it's property, you might be a right fit for my 6-week online mentorship where it's still live with me, but it's just all online, or you might be good for my mastermind, right? So just gauging from there what I think will help you. We have a conversation. Then from there, then I send you out a questionnaire if it's going to be for the one-to-one. And then I get you to fill out like a deep dive questionnaire on you, on your life. And then you fire that back to me, and then I have a look at it and sort of see, okay, cool. Where's Martha right now? Where does she want to be? What can we do in between to make that happen? So for me, it's very much on anybody I work with. It's always jump on a phone call first. It's not like you reach out even by text or Instagram and I say, yeah, go buy this. Because for me, it's like I need to make sure I'm a right fit for you and you're a right fit for me. You know, and you have to enjoy the process as well. So for me, I help people across the board. I've helped people start property. I've helped people grow their property business. I've helped people become more confident. I've helped people grow businesses from the scratch, like from not being in property, but something else. And I've helped husband and wife teams knuckle down and nail their business, and families as well, and individuals. So it just depends on what people need help with, but it all starts with a damn phone call. That's all it does. Build that rapport.
Mm-hmm. And then also, obviously, I follow you on Instagram, and I feel like you are just happy all of the time.
Ooh.
Like, tell us about like your daily and like weekly habits and routines, like, because obviously, you know me on a personal level, and I've suffered a lot with anxiety and like a few mental health issues, but I've been in a position where I've been in a dark place where there was just no way for me, or I in that moment would have thought, there's no way I can feel happy right now because all I see is cloud and like anxiety. So what are your daily habits and routines that put you in this like super positive mindset, you know, the majority of the time?
Yeah. And again, I do have my own down times as well.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not always just like a million mile an hour smiling ear to ear,
of course. Yeah.
because it does hurt. You know, when you smile often, it hurts your cheeks. I don't like pain. But yeah, for me, it's been years of conditioning.
Yeah.
It's been years of focusing on what I want rather than what I don't want. Because that's a big thing there as well. Like a lot of people, when they are in a dark place or when they're unhappy, it's because they're focusing so much on the thing that's making them feel that way. But then at the same time, they think that everything external is going to help them. Whereas the minute you start focusing internally, saying, okay, you know what, I'm in control of my life. If somebody else has made me unhappy, or if some situations like hurt me or anything like that, how can I do better? You know, it's always about reflecting on yourself, saying, what could I have done better this time? What can I do better next time? And what makes me happy? And it's about, again, goes back to NLP, linguistics, asking yourself the right kind of questions. Neuro, which is your mindset of what you're focusing on, right? So what is your focus? Now, for me personally, I remember when I used to be in that dark place with stress, anxiety, depression, all that stuff. And I look back at it and be like, yo, I'm never going back there. But what's going to make that happen? By me going somewhere that I want to go, you know? So I always focus on where I'm going, not where I'm come from. I've handled all the issues from the past, not a problem now. So it's about, you know what, I'm good with that. I know I need to move forwards. But for me, it's like my routine is straight up, like as soon as I wake up, first thing is drinking H2O, right? I always have a glass of water next to me. Always drink H2O because it works, right? All your organs start working. I guarantee not working. They've been off, but they function better. But if you notice as well, like when you wake up without water, you'll be walking to the bathroom. You're pretty much like just going like this, washing your face, your eyes just about open. But I guarantee when you neck a pint of water before you get up, you just start functioning that little bit better. Then for me, even when I'm in my bathroom and stuff.
Sorry to interrupt you. I've added that to my morning routine as well.
Yeah.
So I like plan out my day and I like tick off things I need to do. And glass of water has become my like daily morning thing.
Hands down, it has to be, honestly. We again, what is that? That comes down to people focusing on themselves internally, not externally, right? First thing we do, what does my body need? What do I need, right? I need fluid. I need H2O. So drinking that. Then in the morning, as I'm walking to the bathroom, doing my thing and stuff, I'm always saying out loud or in my head, depends where I am. If I'm at home, I'm saying it out loud. If I'm at someone else's house, I need to be like, who's that freak in the bathroom just shouting out loud? You know, I'm saying more positive things to myself, that I'm ambitious, I'm successful, I'm thankful for my health, I'm thankful for my family, I'm putting a smile on my face. You know, I'm framing myself for how I want my day to go. If I wake up in the morning, and everybody has problems, I'm not sitting here saying I don't have any problems.
Yeah, of course.
The human mind, as soon as you wake up, you will naturally veer towards thinking about your negative stuff, the things that aren't going right in your life. You'll naturally do that, right? And when you do that, then you just snowball the right way, the same way. So I always make sure in the morning, no matter how hard life is, I'm always starting from a place of being humble. You know, because that's the key thing there. I always say, stay humble, stay confident, stay unique. And for me, I'm always starting off by being humble. Then what do I do then? Then I play some music. So I always play some feel good music, not the radio, because when you play the radio, you'll hear a good song, and in between will be the news. What is news? Negative. Right? So it don't work.
Or you hear adverts, which are really annoying.
I know. It's like, just give me my music fix, man. I don't need telling me stuff first thing in the morning. So then it's music and it's smiling, and I'll have a little dance as well. It doesn't have to be like the moonwalk or anything like that. Just about a little boogie and just moving around. Why? Because your body is moving, right? Get that body moving. Motion creates motion. So then for me, then it's straight off to the gym, smash a black coffee. Love a good black coffee. Then off to the gym. And then in that time, as I'm driving to the gym, I'm thinking about what I'm going to put on my story to inspire people, what tip I'm going to give. So again, I'm always, from the morning, I'm in a place of being humble and then giving, right? So that's my first thing. I want to give. I can't give to people if I'm in a negative place. So then I'm focusing on that. Then I do that. Then I go hit my workout. Then I come back, then food and everything, shower, hit my job, hit my day job, call it whatever. But when I'm hitting what I'm doing at work, I will always plan my day the night before as well. So it even starts like before you go to bed, you know, and I've planned it. So as soon as I come to work and I'm doing what I'm doing, I'm not just thinking, what should I do today? It's planned out to pretty much a T. Obviously things happen in life, it doesn't go your way. But that is how I stay focused. And if I ever do find myself dipping throughout the day, I will stop and say, okay, how's my state? You know, because humans have state control. It focuses on three things. Number one is your physiology. So if I'm sat there, can't do this task, it's difficult. You know, so if you're like that, your physiology is all wrong, right?
You know what that reminds me of? Once I was on a phone call with you and it was a FaceTime and I was like this and you told me off.
Yes, exactly. State control, baby.
Yeah, sorry, carry on.
And for me, it's just like, what is my state like, right? Am I slouching? Am I breathing correctly or everything like that? And like, what am I what's my state like? So for me, if I'm feeling funky, I will just move my chair, stand up and just stand strong, right? Then the second thing is your focus or your thoughts. And I'll think at that time, look, I ain't being productive. I'm not happy with what's going on. What am I thinking about? And most of the time you will notice you're not even thinking about the damn task. And if you're thinking of two things, one, the problem it's causing, or two, something completely different, which again puts you off of track. So I will say, okay, if I've got this issue here, what's the problem? What's the solution, right? So my focus starts to go towards the solution, or why am I unhappy? Why am I not satisfied with this, right? Then that tapers onto your language, which again goes to saying, okay, how can I fix the solution? What's making me unhappy? What do I need to do to have the best day I want today? You know, always asking those kind of things. And it's your physiology, your focus, and your language. And you put that all together, then you're more in control of those things. Like for me, if I have a dip, it'll probably be for about half hour, 20 minutes. If that, and I tell people that and they start laughing. They're like, don't you ever get unhappy? I'm like, yeah, for about half hour or so. But again, when I'm working, then I'm just in the zone as well. So I'm not really worried. I'm not focused about anything else. But that's pretty much typically my routine. At the end of the day, I'll always make sure I stop and review what went good, what went bad, how I can do it better. And I always preach to people, say, look, you're not going to be perfect. I don't sit here saying I'm perfect. I just say, look, try and be that better person every day. Be better than who you were yesterday. And if you're not keeping tabs on what you're doing every day, you can never truly know if you're getting better.
Yeah.
And then before I go to sleep, I love to do meditation. So yeah, I just play something on YouTube, like I am, or like just like some sort of like positive language going into my mindset. Because again, when we go to sleep, we're not actually unconscious. You hear like a big bang, you're like straight away you're up, right?
Yeah.
Because you're not actually knocked out, you're not KO, you're just asleep. So even when you're sleeping, your mind is still thinking all the time as well. And if you're anything like you and I, like we're entrepreneurs, we always want more in life, and then we've always got bloody problems in life, and whatever we're thinking of last before we go to sleep, we don't actually think, we just let our mind control it. And then when you go into sleep, if you're thinking of something negative, or if you're overwhelmed with something, or you're stressed out, your body doesn't actually go into a deep sleep. You're always up. That's why you'll find yourself, you just wake up naturally, just like, whoa, what happened there? So for me, I always like to do that. And again, that's positive language coming into my brain, and I'm hearing it. And literally within like 3 to 4 minutes, I'm knocked out. My wife says you're like snoring like within seconds when we play it. And yet the bloody, the YouTube video is like 3 hours long. And I'm like, I wonder what goes on for 3 hours. I'm only here for like 3 minutes. So I bet he's like saying like random stuff that if he was awake, you'd be like, I would never listen to that. So yeah. And then that's my routine, to be fair.
Yeah.
But I always say, look, man, like any time, like to stay positive and stay focused is not just about putting a smile on your face if you've got shit going wrong in life. It's about saying, okay, I need to handle that, tackle it, rather than just putting it to the back of your head. Because the more we leave things that keep coming up in life, the only time like whenever you've got a problem in life, the only reason you'll be aware of it is if your unconscious mind will bring that up, because it knows your conscious mind has the answer. You know, so it's about saying, okay, what is coming up in my life? What is it that I need to handle and tackle and get over to get to where I want to get to? And when you start coming from that place, anytime you're saying, you know what, my natural state as a human being is to be happy. So I will make sure I'm being that person. But when I'm naturally feeling uneasy, anxious, stressed, like worried about something, I need to handle that as well, because it's not my natural state. Whereas most people just get fearful of facing their fears face on. And they're just like, nah, forget that. I'll sort it out later. And then later doesn't come, and it mounts up. It's just like the whole glass of water analogy. The more water you keep pouring in, that's more stress, more anxiety, more rubbish in life, that it keeps going and going and going, and it just tips over.
But do you think that a lot of that positive energy comes from the fact that everything you do, you love to do and you're passionate about? And that's not necessarily the case for everyone.
To a certain extent. So before I was this person I am now, again, that person's always deep down inside you, but it's just about where you focus on. Now, I would say, look, even if you're doing a job or a career or business that you truly hate, right? It's not about focusing on that. It's about focusing, okay, if I hustle my ass off and put up with this shit, because we all put up with it, right? No one's got a roller coaster of an easy lifestyle, right? We all have ups and downs. But even if you're in that moment in time, first and foremost, focus on what you're grateful for. You know, just in my story this morning, I say it's not about money, watches, cars, your house, whatever it is. It's about the finer things in life, that you're alive, that you've got your health, you've got your friends and family around you, you've got food on the table. Be thankful for those things first and foremost. Why? Because the thing that most people are going through that they're unhappy about is actually feeding and funding the finer things in life, right? And then saying, okay, if I'm not happy with this, I need to decide where I go after this. Because you can either do one thing, you can choose to stick where you are and stay unhappy, or you can say, you know what, if this doesn't make me happy, number two, what is the decision I need to make for my next action step to come away from this? It could be a relationship, it could be a business, it could be a career, it could be anything, right? It could be your health and fitness. If you're unhappy with something, it's about saying, okay, I'll put up with this, but I only put up with it as long as I need it to, right? As long as I choose to, because I'm going to where I'm going to. Whereas that's the thing, most people stay stuck and focus on the negative, but they don't focus where they want to go afterwards. And the more you focus on that, the more your brain starts to think more creatively. And you're just like, you know what? I've got a lot right now. I'm kind of unhappy where I am right now, but as long as I know where I want to go, and it doesn't have to be the perfect destination. Nobody knows, right? But as long as it's to a better life or a happier lifestyle, then focus on that and you'll start seeing more answers of how that's going to become a reality. But then the third part to that is surrounding yourself with positive people as well. You know, because if you're around toxic, negative people, that shit's contagious. If you're around happy and successful and positive people, that's contagious as well. You pick. You know, you pick which one you want. We're not born with these people that are around us. Yes, it might be family, but it doesn't mean you join at the hip and you have to do everything with them. Create that circle that's going to feed you to your future success. And also I always say to people, you should get a coach or a mentor if you're in the right kind of place, but not everybody can afford it, right? So follow the right kind of people online. Social media is massive right now. Like for me, I get messages from random people I've never met and they just say, Sunny, you know what? Thank you so much for your videos, your content. I really need to hear that today. You know, so you don't have to necessarily pay people, but just like be around people, whether it's online or offline, and just know that until you decide to make that change to get out of that negative place, is never ever going to happen. And then again, that goes back to my first thing, all change begins internally.
Yeah. I remember you said that to me as well, because I did mentorship with you last year.
Was it last year?
It was last year.
Man, it feels like 3-4 years ago. This COVID's been a long time, you know.
It was last year. And wait, was it last year? Oh, maybe it was the year before.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it was the year before, sorry. And
don't say sorry, remember? We don't say sorry.
Oh, sorry. And you said the same thing to me, because I was really unhappy in I was working full time back then.
Yeah.
And I was really unhappy with my job. And it was really difficult for me to find like that. I know that I was super grateful for the fact that I had an income from it.
Yeah.
But it just got to the point where, you know, after speaking to you, I decided, no, I need to make a change.
And look what happened the minute you decided to change. And all I did was ask you the right questions, be that positive sort of like person that was stood by you to say, you know what, Martha, you're not doing this on your ones. We're doing this together. And we just took that journey and you literally smashed it within weeks, if not months. You left, you did your thing and stuff. And this whole podcast thing, I used to be like hounding you with a hammer. I'd be like, come on, woman, do this bloody podcast. And you're like, no, I'm not confident yet. I can't do it yet. I'm not ready. The time's not right. I can't afford a mic. I was like, you can afford a night out, but you can't afford a mic. Come on, lady. You know? But look at you now. You just did that one thing and you ended up the whole snowball effect, right? You surrounded yourself with the right kind of people. You invested in yourself. You decided to make a difference. And like they say, the rest is damn history.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's coming to the end of the interview, but I always finish my interviews with top three. So that's okay. 3 questions, which are all top 3 based. So first one, top 3 inspirational people.
The future me, my wife and my parents.
No.
Why?
You can't say the future you.
I can, because again, it comes down to different thinking. I look at who I want to be in the future, right? Yeah. And I say that person is who he is, right? Gives back, helps a lot, successful. So I aspire to be that person, right? I inspire to model other successful people, but I always inspire to be that person. Then my wife and my family, my wife and my parents.
Yeah. So what about like, obviously those are like your really close people, but if you were to jump on, let's say tonight you wanted to listen to something inspirational, who would be like your top 3 go-to people?
Okay. So top three would be, one is Prince EA. I really like his stuff.
Oh, I don't know who that is. Wait, do
What?
I?
You do. I'm sure you do, woman.
I
Prince
don't know.
EA.
Prince EA. Why
Oh my
does it
God.
sound familiar, but like
How can this
not
podcast
clicking?
host be living under a rock? What's wrong with you, woman? No.
Okay, I need to look that up when I get off. Yeah.
The other one, Bob Proctor, he's really good as well.
Yeah.
And then a third person, can't forget this one, The Rock. Yeah.
Oh, I love The Rock. Yeah, I had The Rock as like my ideal husband,
Yep.
but he's married now.
That's okay. Don't worry. We'll find you another one.
I think you missed someone out because he is like best friends with me and you were super jealous that I worked with him.
Yes. Will Smith. Oh, man. I can't believe that. Everybody, when me and Martha were working together, right, we're just chatting and like literally, I swear to God, I think like 3 months had gone by and she just didn't even mention the hell out of this. Oh, yeah, by the way, I was working with Will Smith. I was like, what? Come on, woman. You kept that quiet. And I'm like, yo, I aspired that guy is like the legend, right?
Yeah, he is.
And it's so true. I forgot that. It's because you gave me 3, and you know when you have to nail it down, it's like, what do you mean 3? But yeah, Will Smith, definitely, man. Love his energy, love his positivity, love how humble he is, and he just gives it as it is.
In reality, he's exactly like that.
All right, don't rub it in, woman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like he walks into a room and you can feel his energy.
Sounds like me, doesn't he?
Yeah. Okay. I don't know if you're going to answer this one. Top 3 investment strategies.
Land development, buy, refurb, refinance, house into flats.
I want to do all of them.
You can make a plan, make it happen.
Oh, yes, I need to do them. I just have limited amount of time in my day.
So you still have time in your day.
I know. I don't know how you fit everything that you have in your life in. I'm still learning how to do that, but
don't forget, we started with one thing. You get good at one thing, or you get goodish at it, and then you get on. And the thing is that as entrepreneurs, we always do one thing that, right, I could do that as well. I could do that as well. And it's very much easy to say yes to everything, but sometimes you have to say, look, no to that, but not just yet. I will come to that, but I'll do it in the future. And even for you, I know you've always said you wanted to do those strategies and stuff as well. And I would say like, plan out everything you're doing now because you're crushing it now, right? And then say, okay, where can I spend an hour a day, every day of learning just on this one strategy? Not about all 3 or all however many there are, just about this one strategy. And then over a week, you've done 7 hours, which is pretty much like a full shift. Do that for 30 days. You've learned so much more. And then you can say, you know what? Now I know this. Now I'm going to do that.
Just out of curiosity, actually, how long did it take you from like your first baby buy to let to be doing land developments?
Oh, mate. 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah. That's what I mean. I always say I've only been on social media for about 3 years. So everybody just thinks, yo, this guy popped out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Do it. I was just too busy working, man. I was just like, yo, I ain't got time for social media. People used to tell me Facebook, and I was literally that idiot not idiot. I know some people might be thinking it, but I used to be that weirdo who'd say, what's Facebook? and I was in my 20s. Honestly, I was like, yeah, I've heard of it. I ain't got time for it.
Yeah.
Gotta work, you know? So it was like, I never did that. And then gradually, but yeah, I'd say roughly around 10 years. But even from that, it was that small buy to let, then other smaller ones, then commercial conversion. And even doing land development, I think like if I had that mindset and that confidence, I would have done it sooner. But I always had that limiting belief of A, you need millions of your own pounds. B, you need to be really good at DIY. I'm crap at DIY. Well, I was crap at DIY. I still am, right? I ain't going to get good at something I don't like. But it's about building the right team around you.
Yeah.
And the business partnerships and stuff where it is possible, right? It's just like running a business.
I'm really good at DIY. Did you see I tiled my kitchen?
I know.
No. Anyway, I didn't retile. I tiled the kitchen in my rental property myself.
Okay, fair play.
And it looked like really good.
There you go.
Yeah, I just YouTubed, Did it, done.
That's the thing. You literally, that's what I say before as well. And people don't know what strategy to do. Get your ass on YouTube, get your ass on social media, see what's out there. There's loads of information. And then only then decide if you want to do it. Because I see so many people that say, yeah, I want to do property, I want to do this, I want to do that. I'm like, cool. Why? Because I saw loads of other people doing it. I was like, well, that's not the right reason.
Because I love Sunny's stories and I want to live his life.
Oh, no. Everybody's got their own life.
Yeah, for sure. But I do sometimes watch your, when you're out looking at your plots and sites, I'm like, oh my God, Sunny's life, so exciting.
It's only that part that's exciting. The rest of the time you're bloody negotiating, you're stressing out about numbers. Oh, mate.
Yeah. Oh, I want to do it. I will do it.
Yes.
Okay. Then the last one is top 3 tips for someone who has an idea and wants to turn that into a successful business.
Cool. That's perfect. I've been recording Instagram Reels and I did mine today. So first thing would be to every single day for 30 days, spend 30 to 60 minutes learning about that business or that product or that service that you're going to sell.
Okay.
Right? Spend 30 days. You can discipline yourself to do that. You've learned so much over 30 days. Your confidence has gone from 0 or from okay-ish to like, you know what? I know a hell of a lot and I've only done it bit by bit. Right. And then at the end of those 30 days, if you're still passionate about it, because we're always passionate about something new until we learn, we're like, you know what? That sounds like hard work, mate. I don't even know how to do that. Right. And if you're still passionate at the end of 30 days, then take it that next step level, that next level up.
Okay. Wait, so 30 days, that's one tip.
Yeah, that's one tip. Can you say the question again? See, I get proper into the question.
Top 3 tips for someone who has an idea and then wants to turn it into a successful business.
Cool. So that first tip I would say is to learn about the strategy or about the product more so, right? Then I would say, and second tip is up your skills in social media, right? Very important, because you will pay a hell of a lot of money to somebody when you're trying to launch your business, right? Whether it's a product or a service, pretty much everything is going online, right? And again, like when you learn the basics even so, and you can learn it all free from YouTube. I did that since lockdown. I learned everything about Facebook ads, Instagram ads, all that kind of stuff. Learn it all free, right? Just watching loads of different things. And only literally, I think it was last week or the week before, I invested in my own self to get myself a mentor for him to like help me take to the next level, right? Because I did everything myself, and I would have had to pay somebody probably like £3,000 to £4,000 a month to manage all of that for me. So I saved all of that by learning it for free. And it's a skill set for life. Yeah. So once you learn it once, you can implement it into that business. You get all entrepreneurial and you think, you know what, I want to do another business. You still implement it into there. So you're saving a lot, and running and starting any business from the ground up is going to be expensive by putting money in for the marketing side of things. So when you can do that yourself, you have to put that time in as well. You know, so that's tips. So 3 tips for somebody looking to start a business from scratch. So that would be like, again, see if you're passionate about it. Number 2, focus on your social media skills. And number 3, I would say, like, is that product or service solving a problem? If it's not, then, and again, it doesn't come down to 3. The thing is, you know, when you limit me to 3 things, I could go on all day with like a list, because you're
trying to like add things into.
I know, because I don't want people just to think it's only 3 things.
1A, 1B.
Yes, again, even with that, it comes down to saying, okay, is that product a product that's going to like in demand to start with, but also is it going to solve a problem? You know, and if it is, then go for it, right? Because people are going to be wanting it. But then also off the back of that, do some market research from friends, family, online, saying, look, if I had this, would you buy it? If I had this, what kind of things are what kind of good things would you look for in this product if you were to buy it, right? Doing all that kind of stuff there. Then I'm not going to give you 3, I'm going to give you more. Then it comes down to understanding in your mindset, be totally okay with it taking a while as well. Because too many people, and I hate it when I see online where people, like, whether you're launching an e-commerce business or getting into property, they say like, within 3 months I became a millionaire. It's like, no, man, like it didn't. Right. And again, just know that the journey is going to take time, but as long as you're hungry enough, as long as you're passionate enough for it, because you've done the 30-day and stuff, and as long as it's a product that people are going to want to buy, then just stay focused on it, because you will hit hurdles, you will hit roadblocks. And that's the point in time where you're going to be like, you know what, might as well go get a job. At least I got a paycheck at the end of each week, at the end of each month. But no, If you started with a purpose and a mission, then follow through. And anytime you do get stuck, always focus on asking the right question to yourself, not focusing on the problem, but more so on the solution, and get help from other people around you as well.
Okay.
Yes, you know me, I'm different, innit? I'm not going to give you 3 tips. I want to give you as much value. And that's the key thing. You want to give people as much value as they can, just to say, you know what, he's given me this. Now I can go off and do X, Y, and Z. And then when I hit a hurdle, then I ask more questions.
Whenever I have like a random business idea, I'm always like, I wonder what Sunny would think about this.
I wonder what Sunny would do.
You have to create a hashtag. What would Sunny do?
What would Sunshine do? Okay, cool. We'll have to do that, actually. I was actually thinking of doing something like online, of like jumping on an Insta just to help people where I can, just doing lives and stuff, trying to fit that into my schedule to say, okay, every this day for an hour or half an hour, if you've got any questions on business, property, mindset, jump on, you ask it live, helping more people where you can.
That would be amazing. I really want to do more lives as well, but I don't even know what I would talk about.
What would you want to talk about?
I don't know.
What's interesting to you?
A lot of things.
Like?
Everything.
like? Give me, okay, your top 3 things that you're interested in. Go on.
Oh, top 3 things. Okay, I think for me at the moment would be like morning routines and habits.
Cool.
Or routines for success, basically.
Yep.
Mental health.
Yep.
I was about to say fitness, but I've kind of dropped off fitness now.
Sucker. Get back on it. You know how important it is, woman.
Yeah, I do need to get back on it. But even just like looking at stuff that's related to fitness doesn't excite me as much as it used to. I'm more now about mindset, I think.
Okay.
So yeah, that excites me more.
You think or you know?
I know that excites me more.
Okay. Language, see?
Yes.
Okay, so there you go. You got 3 things, 3 content strategies there.
I know, but I don't feel like I'm an expert in those fields. So what have I got to say?
No one's an expert. Anybody tells you an expert, they're probably lying, because there's not one thing in life where you know every single thing about. Yeah. There's always something we can learn more. If somebody says they're an expert, then it's just like, okay, well, like what? How can you better that moving forwards, right? And just know that the more authentic you are, the more genuine you are about giving that stuff. Saying, hey, you know what? I'm no expert at this, but you know what? I was here in life and I did this to get to here. Most people are still stuck here. This is how I got here. Follow these little tips. Hope they help. Have a happy day. Right? Yeah. Just putting stuff out like that will get you seen more as well. That's why literally for me, I do Monday to Friday, pretty much every day, a story on Instagram. And that's not just posting some pictures. That's me getting in front of the camera, talking. Sometimes I will be in a case of like, you know what? I just don't feel like being on social media, because you do need that break as well. You can't always be on there. That's why majority of the weekends, I don't pretty much put anything out there. But yeah, you need to start doing it. That is your mission. Okay. Everybody listening to this podcast, if you don't see Martha on her doing stories or on her lives, boycott her podcast. Never listen to it again.
No, stories I'm good at. I'm enjoying them now. I started to get into the flow, and then Reels came out and I was like, oh my God, something else for me to learn.
Yeah, Reels are doing my nut. In 15 seconds to get a message across is tough. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah, I need to get on that one as well. Actually, you know, you said earlier you chill and watch Netflix in your downtime.
Yes.
So what's your top 3 Netflix things to watch?
Power, Narcos, and Breaking Bad. Yeah.
Okay, so you watch series, not films.
I can never find a decent damn film. I put it on and then it's just like, yeah, weird.
Well, what about like Will Smith films? Have you seen The Pursuit of Happiness?
Oh yeah, I've seen that, yeah.
Okay, fine.
But I need some like positivity in it. I need some like. What I do also like watching is documentaries, and that Michael Jordan one, that was badass.
I haven't seen that.
That was really, really good. I'd highly recommend that. Again, very inspirational, very motivational, because everybody knows him as Air Jordan, but he's had a lot of struggles and ups and downs, and it shows that even for me, like, yes, I'm on social media. I'm trying to be that person that can relate to people and help people from where they are now to where they want to get to. But it doesn't matter how much positivity you try and put out there, you will always get some sort of troll or some sort of hater and stuff. And when you see these successful people like Will Smith, like The Rock, like Michael Jordan and stuff, they all have this positive side, but they also have people hating on it as well. You know, it's just like, well, if it happens to me, it happens to them. You know, it's totally normal. But it just shows that the most successful people, they don't focus on the BS in life. They focus on what they want and just go all out after it. But yeah, I would highly recommend that one to watch as well.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Sunny. I've loved
Thank you for
having
having me
you
on. I
on.
hope everybody's found value from that.
Yeah, I'm sure they will, because it was fun. It was informative. Oh, lastly, sorry, how can people connect with you? And do you have anything coming up that people should know about?
Yeah, so people can connect with me on Instagram. That's where I mainly hang out. Sunny Mahal Official. Facebook, LinkedIn, all that good stuff, Sunny Mahal. And then my website is sunnymahal.com. If anybody wants to book a call with me for mindset coaching, business coaching, family coaching, couple coaching in business, all that kind of stuff, hit me up via Instagram or my website. Either one, I'm happy. With me, what have I got coming up? I've got a few things in the new year coming up, which I'm keeping about. So again, I normally what I do is I switch off for Christmas. So December, I don't do any work.
Yeah.
And I plan the next year ahead. So I've got a lot of time there to create content, to create programs, all that kind of stuff. Because for me, I want to be that person who can touch many lives, but not, like, I can't be everywhere at once. So for me, it's about creating, just like you, passionate about mindset. I want to create something where people can have access to that online, where people don't have to wait, you know? So that's that there. And then I also do a 6-week mentorship program on property as well. If anybody wants any info on that, just hit me up and I shall be able to help where I can.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. And I no doubt will carry on watching your journey.
Yes. And I will be watching yours because you're going to start doing videos, lady. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Thank you, Sunny. And I'll speak to you soon.
Cool.
Bye.
Bye.